John Nash went to Princeton during the Cold War. Very, very brilliant and extremely competitive.
What if you lose?
Now, for a genius, the bar is very, very high. He had enough confidence / arrogance to sort of pursue things his way, and he was clumsy, socially clumsy, and therefore he was fundamentally alone.
Nash was such a singular and such a valued figure in the mathematics community, in this very elite upper echelon of this very small and tight-knit community.
The economics breakthrough, the bargaining equilibrium, was what finally was going to be recognized all those years later.
Adam Smith needs revision.
What are you talking about?
If we all go for the blonde, we block each other. Not a single one of us is going to get her. So then we go for her friends. But they will all give us the cold shoulder because nobody likes to be second choice. But what if no one goes for the blonde? We don't get in each other's way. And we don't insult the other girls. That's the only way we win.
And talking to mathematicians, I learned they don't think in terms of numbers. They think in terms of shapes and relationships.
Thank you.
That sequence in the bar was sort of an interesting way for us to be able to visually understand what was going on in his mind.
Today, Nash's theories influence global trade negotiations, national labor relations, and even breakthroughs in evolutionary biology.
You do realize this flies in the face of 150 years of economic theory?
Yes, I do, sir.
John Nash's original discoveries were leading him to positions of power and influence. Then he makes the greatest discovery of his life.
I'm wondering, Professor Nash, if I can ask you to dinner.
Alicia Larday.
Alicia, is our relationship or a long-term commitment? I need some kind of proof, some kind of verifiable empirical data.
What I think is interesting about their love story is that it is so human.
How big is the universe?
Infinite.
How do you know?
I know because all the data indicate this.
But it hasn't been proven yet.
No.
You haven't seen it. How do you know for sure?
I don't, I just believe it.
Just saying it's lying, I guess.
But Nash's professional life takes a dramatic turn.
All right.
Nash becomes involved in government projects that really challenge him emotionally as well as intellectually.
Well, you must be really important.
There's a sort of a push and a pull because here's a time where he could reach out for happiness and joy and the fulfillment that really hasn't been there on kind of a human level, but he's also pulled by his own ambition, and he's beginning to be torn from within. And there begins a journey into a kind of a hellish existence.
Stay away from me.
I'm not leaving! Stop! John!
You can't reason your way out of it.
Why not? Why can't I?
Because your mind is where the problem is in the first place.
Ultimately, there is diagnosis, a realization that he has schizophrenia.
Professor Nash? Let's avoid a scene, shall we?
I don't claim to understand this. It's like, I think the difficulty is like analogous to if you wake up and you were dreaming some dream. And can you really explain why you dreamed that dream?
I talked to Alicia about it, and she said his demise and the onset of his illness was really in the course of like 2 weeks.
I was so scared you weren't real. Schizophrenia is something that tends to come on people in their early 20s.
With schizophrenia, it's typical you don't want to do normal things.
This is a group playing touch football. This is a cluster of pigeons fighting over breadcrumbs. And this here is the one who was chasing a man who stole her purse.
John's life, the architecture of John's life, seemed a remarkable way to give people some insight into what it might feel like to have this disease.
Maybe Rosen's right. Maybe I have to think about going back to the hospital again.
Come
I love this.
Maybe try again.
I love this.
Nash would never have survived without Alicia Nash sheltering him.
She is a heroic figure in the movie. She was there offering love and support when most would have been broken themselves. And her strength is pretty remarkable.
To take her severely mentally ill husband in and shelter him with no expectation that he would get better.
Despite unimaginable challenges, Alicia's steadfast devotion pulled her husband from the brink of madness, and together they triumphed over tragedy.
I need to believe that something extraordinary is possible.
They've separated on occasion, stuff like that, and haven't been able to really understand each other on occasion as well. But the bottom line is, after however many years they're still together. You're still here.
I'm still here.
Genius, mental illness, Nobel Prize. This is a very uncommon set of circumstances for a single life.
He gains wisdom, he gains strength in the journey, as difficult as it is. So it's a very triumphant, ennobling story. And we all felt it was a story worth telling.
Go to torrey.com /details. Pretty good, I've watched, so. Pretty good.